Welcome back, friends. Yesterday was Thanksgiving 2020. I hope you had a great day, nice enjoyable day. Today's Black Friday, which has people thinking about doing some of their Christmas shopping and maybe buying something for themselves because they might find some really good savings, or they might be looking for a gift. So one of the items on my list is for doing pocket holes. So if you have a woodworker that you want to buy a gift for, or for yourself, pocket holes are an amazing way to join wood. So this is the K4 Jag pocket hole system right here. So in this video, I'm going to show you how this works and see if it's right for you or the right type of gift that you want to buy for somebody else. So let's take a closer look. You know, I spent a lot of time my last 3 or 4 years watching a lot of makers on YouTube and Instagram, and I've also gone to a lot of events meeting them. And the one thing that I happen to hear, a common thread amongst all of them, they will mention using pocket holes from time to time. So it's just a fast, efficient way to join wood. And today I'm going to show you what all the hype is all about. Before this, I have this kit right here. This is the R3. This one's a little more simple. This runs around $35. The savings event on this K4 kit right here at the Home Depot is $75 right now. So if you go into the front of the store, at least in my store, you'll see this mixed in with all the other items. So it's not in the hardware, but with all the Black Friday items, you'll see this right here. So it's a gift option. If you don't want to spend that much money, this right here would work really well. But today we're going to focus on this one right here. So in this kit right here, you're going to get all these items. So you're going to get some sample screws for softwood and hardwood, some wood plugs, and right here is a step bit with a stop collar, and then this is a long number 2 square head bit, and then there are some plans involved too. And the cool thing about this right here, this has a lifetime warranty. So this isn't just plastic, it's glass reinforced nylon, so it's very strong. And it has all the onboard tools like this little Allen wrench right here. And you can put your storage of those items underneath, which is really cool. See how that works? So I was going to show you that this item right here, this removes. So in case you're repairing some furniture and you can't get this whole thing in there, you can take this off. And then it also comes with this piece. Let me show you a second. So this is a spacer block right here. This will actually lock into the bottom right there. It's kind of almost like Legos. So you put that in there, and then that way if you want to bring this to like a piece of furniture where you can't fit all this in there, you can use this right here to join 3/4 inch wood. The instructions are really straightforward, so they're only 10 pages. But I'm hoping my video will help you so you don't really even have to read these, but I definitely recommend that you check them out too, because there might be something that I left out. So this is how I'm setting it up. You can see all these numbers there on the side. So that will go right here, and then you're gonna line this up right here to 3/4. See how that's lined up? And then you have this little thumb screw, you turn that in. And then I'm going to take this step bit right here, and you can see this movable collar. There's an Allen wrench that fits in there. And that little wrench is stored right there. So what you do, if you're going to be joining 3/4 inch wood, actually I have that all set up right now, but I'm just gonna quickly show you if I want to change it. Let's say I'm joining like 1/2 inch wood. See how that slides on there? So what I'm gonna do right here, see I have the collar locked in place right there. So then I'm going to just slide the bit while that stays stationary. And then that thicker part right there, I'm gonna line that up with the 3/4. See how I have that done? And then I'm just gonna tighten this up without moving it. There, it's snug. I'm just gonna take it, tighten it down. And then if I wanna go thicker on the opposite side right here, I can do the same thing. So what I'm gonna do is I have this piece of 1x3 and this piece. I'm gonna join it together just like that. So here's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna line this up first. So for 1x3, this is where you're gonna wanna check out your instructions. So you can see right here you have holes A, B, and C. So right here is a guide. So if you're joining 1 to 2 inch wide material, you use holes B and C. If you're joining 2 inch to 3 inch, what I'm doing, then you use holes A and B. If you're doing something wider, like 3 inches to 4 inches, then you could use A and C. So let's line up A and B right now. So there's A and B. So I'm just going to center that using my eye. And then you have this right here. This is a clamp There is an adjustment nut. I have it already adjusted to 3/4. See how that holds in place? So before I drill these 2 holes right here, I was going to show you that this jig right here has a couple different options so you can have it firmly mounted onto your workbench or your work surface. So back here is room if I want to use one of my Kreg clamps. Check this out, or I could use a different clamp too. So we can put that on there. That will hold it in decently. So if you're doing a lot of pocket holes, you're going to get quite a bit of sawdust in there, and you can get this accessory. This is to attach a vacuum to, a wet dry vac. So you can just put that right there. And I have this rigid wet dry vac hose that hooks on right there. So that way, if I want to clamp this down, check it out, I can turn the vacuum on and start drilling. It's definitely going to pick up the sawdust. All right. So that vacuum attachment does a nice job. There isn't any sawdust in there. So we're going to attach this to this piece right here. So I did want to mention that you don't want to attach it this way. You don't want to go that way. You're going to want to go this way. So you're going more into the meat of this stuff right here. If I want to do a picture frame, I can also do that. So I'm going to do that second. So we're going to first go like this and attach it. So if you can, you try to put this underneath something or behind something. So if you're making furniture or something else that you don't see the pocket holes. But if you do have some pocket holes and you want to cover them up, there are some good options. I'm going to show you one that I'm going to use in a few minutes. So here's one way that you can clamp it. If you have a longer clamp like this or a bar clamp, you can put that on there. So these are the screws that I have right here that I'm going to install, one in that hole, one in that hole. So as you can see, this one is 1.25 inches. It's made for hardwoods, so for indoor use. So if you have your instructions, you can easily see, check out this guide right here. You can match up the proper screw to your project and what type of material you're using. So right now I'm going to use my drill. And this is something I tend to go a little bit slower. And if you want to use your clutch on here so you don't over tighten it, it's one thing. You don't want to really torque it down too heavy. You just want it really nice and snug. So it's kind of nice having a drill with a variable speed trigger so you can tighten it just so. So I just took this clamp to swing it over this way to allow a little more room so I can get my drill in here. Go forward, ready? Oops, not clamped hard enough. Doing this left-handed, which I don't have as much control. I'm gonna go with speed number 1. Okay, I can just tell right there, that is nice and snug. So another nice clamp that I have, this one's a little odd looking. When I saw this, I wasn't sure if I'd really want it, but when I started using it, it works really well. So you can put this in the pocket hole right there, and so you can clamp it down there. So that way, if I was gonna do that hole first, see how nice that works? All right, that feels nice and snug. So you can see this is really tough stuff. As I'm trying to move it and wiggle it around, that is not budging. One thing I didn't show you is you can also use wood glue. You can put a bead of that in there. That will just give you a little bit of extra strength. You don't need it, but not a bad idea. So right there you see you have those holes right there. So if you can hide those, as I mentioned, underneath or behind something where you're not going to see it, that works well. But if you want to cover these up, one of the quickest and easiest ways to do it is you can get some paint grade plugs right here, and I believe they might make some in different species. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I just am using these. I'm going to show you how these work in this right here. So I'm going to dispense a little bit of glue right here into each hole. Nothing too crazy, but you know, enough. So the angled part is what sticks out of the hole. This is what goes all the way into the hole. So I recommend having a shop towel around. What I didn't mention on the other one is I like to put a little bit of glue on this right here, the plug itself. So just enough to make sure that it's going to set well in there. Then push that in. Oh boy, not sure if I had that a little bit crooked or not. That might be a little bit crooked. I'm gonna just see if I can take a hammer a little bit to this side to kind of even it out. Okay, that's good. So now you can see I have the 2 plugs installed, and they recommend waiting for the glue to dry for at least 30 minutes. So a couple things you can do after it dries. You could take a sander like this orbital sander right here, and you can just go ahead and sand it down. Or you can use like a flat flush cut saw. This is the closest thing that I have to that. And then you just run that flat on there. Try not to gouge any of this. And then just cutting. So you just cut the high part off of those plugs right there. Then you go through and sand it. Let me show you a finished product of what I did last night. So this is a total separate piece. This is from last night. You can see where I installed the 2 plugs right there, and then I flush cut it, and then I sanded it down. So it's really, if you put regular paint over that, you would never know that you had plugs there. So what I did to cover this up, just to show you with a little bit of a final coating on it, I use this Total Bolt Halcyon Clear. This is a rugged clear gloss varnish, fast drying, recoat in 1 hour. So I chose this so I could quick get 3 coats for today's video. So what do you guys think? So now we're back to the other piece that has the plugs I just glued in there. What I want to do is have the pocket holes go this way. So if I want to make a picture frame, see, you can do that right there. And we're going to see how that looks. So after using this drill right here, I decided it might be a little bit underpowered. When I used another drill, it seemed to leave a little bit of a cleaner hole right there. So I just took my utility knife to kind of clean some of that up right there. So next time I'll go to a drill that spins a little faster, a little more power. Now we're going to install these holes into this board right here. Okay, we have that clamped down. There, we have a nice corner right there. So if I want to make a picture frame, this would be on the inside. I can use my router to clean that out right there. What do you think? So I was just looking a little bit closer. I did actually see that there's 4 holes for mounting this. So if I want to work outside and put it on this 2x10 right here, so I can just use some of these pocket hole screws and reuse them later on. You see, that's not going anywhere. So I just took a second and realized something that I did, and I want to show you one of the tips when you're joining wood like this. So your best practice when you're joining this piece to that piece right there is to have your screws run into the wood grain that goes that direction. As you can see how the wood's going that way. So what I did by mistake is I had the pocket holes going into the end grain, and that's not quite as strong right there. So you're actually better off to have the screw go this way and into like the cross grains. This is definitely going to hold. It probably wouldn't hurt for me to put glue on it, but if you have your choice and you're looking at it, do that right there. You know, I was just looking over the box here, and I just wanted to point out a couple things. So in case I didn't mention it, this does have a lifetime warranty, which is awesome. You create strong, simple Kreg joints from 1/2-inch trim boards to 2x4 1.5-inch thick lumber. And you can clamp the K4 to any work surface to create strong, repeatable pocket joints. And then as I mentioned earlier, you can use the versatile drill guide so you can quickly switch between the benchtop use and portable applications. If you have any questions about this, let me know, or also check out the link I have to this down below to the Home Depot. So my goal of this video is to put this to the test and demonstrate it so you can see if it's right for you or right for somebody else as a gift. So if you find this to be helpful and informative, please give my video a thumbs up and help support my channel. That's it, friends. Thanks for watching. See you next time.